When I was 27, my parents started pushing me to get married. I broke up overnight with the boyfriend I'd groveled after for 3 years and went home to meet arranged dates. A friend asked, "You were so crazy about Luyan. Can you really just let him go?" I laughed coldly. "I'm not stupid. A guy like him is fun for a fling, but if I actually married him, I'd be miserable for the rest of my life." Right then, a low, familiar voice spoke behind me. "So that's your reason for dumping me?" Dragging my suitcase home, I ran into a girl just coming out of the apartment, baggy black sweater slipping off one shoulder, legs bare, feet in YSL stilettos. I recognized her, Luyan's bassist, Lu Chung, barely 20, stunning. I paused behind the hallway door. Moments later, Luyan stepped out behind her in nothing but jeans, lazily leaning against the wall to light a cigarette. Water still beaded on the sharp cut of his obliques. He tossed a Chanel tote at her. "Here." Lu Cheng's eyes lit up. She squealed and jumped on him. "Ah, I've wanted this bag forever. Where did you get it?" "Picked it up in Hong Kong last time. I really love it. Thank you, baby." She tried to linger, but Luyan frowned. "All right, get going." She slid down, half pouting, half flirting. "So ruthless. 2 minutes ago I was baby. Now you're kicking me out." Still beaming, she blew him a kiss and left. When I stepped out from behind the door, Luyan blinked, surprised then relaxed. "You didn't tell me you were coming." "It was late. I didn't want to wake you." Fresh crimson marks dotted his neck, but he showed no guilt, just pulled me inside. "I'm starving, make something." He sprawled on the sofa and flipped on the TV as if nothing had happened. When I didn't move, he raised an eyebrow. "What's wrong?" A lazy grin. "Miss me." He came up behind me, arms circling my waist, hot breath skating over my neck while his callous guitar fingers slipped under my shirt. "Then I'll eat you first, food later." The rough tips grazed my skin, prickling. I closed my eyes, pulled his hand away, suddenly exhausted. "I'm beat. Going to bed." He rarely got refused, his face darkened. "What's the matter?" I looked down. On the carpet lay a shredded pair of black stockings. Luyan noticed too and clicked his tongue, expression souring. Silence thickened, broken only by the crack of a menthol bead as he lit another cigarette. Her lease expired, no place to crash. I let her stay one night. Nothing happened. We both knew the excuse was pathetic. It wasn't the first time he'd cheated. He was born restless. When I met him, he'd been exactly like this. Back then, my best friend dragged me to see a famous rock band, said the lead singer was drop-dead gorgeous. I wasn't into rock, but the moment Luyan stepped on stage, everything else vanished. Black tee, faded jeans, messy hair half hiding pale lids, simple clothes, priceless face. One glance from those amber eyes and my heart detonated. After the show, I joined the swarm of girls begging for his WeChat. He added everyone, me included. A year later, all the others had quit, only I stayed. Maybe out of pity, maybe habit. He let me call myself his girlfriend, but he never truly liked me. Once he said, "You're not my type. I keep you because you're easy." He joked that the day he found the one, he'd dump me. Our whole relationship balanced on my endless concessions. "You promised you wouldn't cheat again." My voice was barely a whisper. Mockery flickered in his eyes. "Seriously? You believed that?" He leaned in, exhaling cool smoke into my face, wicked smile curling. "Can't take it? Then leave." He'd used that line countless times. I'd always clung to him, begging. He knew I would fold. I turned away. "I'm tired. I'll sleep." He grabbed my wrist. High cheekbones cast shadows. His stare was heavy. "Zhonyan, enough." I slipped free and went inside. Moments later, the front door slammed hard enough to rattle the walls. Luyan had stormed off. He was furious. I'd never given him attitude before. I rolled over and opened my phone. Mom had tagged me in the family chat. "Mom's never rushed you, but you're 27. Time to think about marriage. My coworker's son is nice looking. Come meet him over the holiday." My boss had messaged too. "Branch office needs talent. You're wasted as deputy manager. How about running the new division? It'll be tough at first, but it's in your hometown. Mom wants me home for blind dates. The new branch is in my old city. Heaven, earth and people all aligned." I sighed. I really do like Luyan, his face, his body. How well we fit in bed. Most of all, how effortlessly he coasts. With him, I never worried about the future. When I started work, I was exhausted and needed an outlet, but my looks are average and my standards absurdly high until I met him. These best years of his were spent with me while I clawed my way up the ladder. His body eased my stress, and though he's careless with hearts, he's strict about health. Every partner had to show test results. We always used protection. Finding another man this convenient will be hard, but dating and marriage are different games. I like Luyan, yet I know he's no husband material. Time to choose. Luyan didn't come home that night or the next. Calls and texts went unanswered. Eventually, I saw only red exclamation marks. He'd blocked me. Classic Cold War. Before, I'd grovel for days until he thawed. This time I was busy handing over projects. That evening, while booking a flight home, my phone rang. rang, one of his friends. Sis Luyan's wasted, come pick him up. The bar was deafening, laughter and bass thumping through the line. Luyan loves clubs, his family is rich and the band is just for fun. I once asked why he didn't join the family business. He sneered, let dad's bastards fight over scraps. Grandpa and mom will leave me plenty, I'll just do what I like. He has no ambition, something we never shared. Every promotion, every project thrilled me. He'd shrug, killing yourself for a paycheck that won't cover one night at my table. Why bother? We're different species. I never cared about his soul. He never noticed my heart. In the end, leaving should be painless. I said I'd come. Outside the window the city looked brighter at night than by day, neon drowning every star. My flight was the day after tomorrow. 8 a.m. I sighed. I hadn't wanted to break up so fast. The sex was perfect and work stress was brutal. I'd hoped for one last ride. Too bad. At the bar Lu Yen was ring-fenced by girls, all shapes, all young, all gorgeous under heavy makeup. No wonder they flock. Rich, generous, handsome. His very fickleness looks like charisma. I touched my face, remembering his jab. You're 27, go get Botox or something, okay? No wonder he looked down on me. He was surrounded by girls barely 20. I said nothing, standing outside the ring of people. When my gaze met Lu Yan's, he looked right through me and looked away. Lu Cheng's cheeks were flushed. She was glued to him. Voice syrupy. Brother Lu, one more drink. Lu Yan smiled, the club lights catching the tilt of his eyes. Beautiful and utterly cold. Drinking's boring. How about you feed me? How? He didn't answer. He only lowered his eyes to her. Half a second later she understood. Surprise flashed across her face. She tossed back the caramel whiskey in one go. Lu Yan hooked her chin and kissed her hard. No tenderness, just release. Lu Cheng's eyes watered from lack of air. Whiskey spilled from the corners of their mouths, glistening under the strobes. When they finally parted, a silver thread stretched between them. The crowd exploded in cheers. I knew he was doing it on purpose, punishing me for the face I'd shown him that night, and for not crawling back to apologize. When I finally stepped in front of him, the noise died. Lu Yan glanced up, indifferent. What are you doing here? Looking at that face, I suddenly remembered nights when our cheeks had touched and we'd whispered love. Did it hurt? A little, but not much, because I'd always known exactly who he was. Fickle, addicted to thrill, incapable of saying no, selfish, spoiled since childhood, forever the center of the universe, never thinking of anyone else. My voice trembled. Lu Yan, that was too much. He lifted his head. He was the one sitting, I the one standing, yet I felt invisible. His expression stayed flat, contempt curling the corner of his mouth. Too much, then break up. Nobody's stopping you. I didn't answer. I simply looked at him. I'd lost count of how many times he'd used break up as leverage. 50? 100? A friend beside him thought he'd gone too far. After all, everyone had seen how I treated him these years. He nudged Lu Yan. Bro, don't fight with sis. Look, she's about to cry. I was crying. Might as well play the scene to the end. When the tear hit the floor, I saw Lu Yan's fingers, clamped around his cigarette, twitch. Yet he said nothing, only stared coldly. I spoke softly. Fine. Lu Yan, let's break up. For an instant his face twisted so badly, I thought he'd explode. Instead he laughed, teeth clenched. Impressive, Zhong Yan. Just remember, I never eat old grass. Don't come begging like a dog later. Okay. I nodded, wiped my tears, turned and left without looking back. That night Lu Yan didn't come home. I deleted every trace of him, contacts, photos, chat history, packed my suitcase, and caught the earliest flight home the next morning. As the plane climbed above the clouds, I pulled out my SIM card and dropped it into the waist bag. I never contacted him again. After posting a few late-night emo lines to cement my broken heart persona, I wiped him from my mind. Back home life fell into routine. I settled into the new company and met the man my parents had arranged. 28, already balding, a programmer who droned on. I feel women should prioritize family after marriage. You should quit. Every successful man needs a woman behind him. I smiled at my coffee cup, reminding myself not to pour it over his head. When he finally paused, he looked at me. Did you hear me? Anything to add? Still smiling, I said, no, but Mr. Wang, I don't think we're a match. Let's stop here. As I walked away, he muttered after me that women over 25 are worthless and picky, old women, etc. Days went by. Mom introduced more candidates. Some were decent on paper, but after Lu Yan, after that peak, how could I settle for mediocrity? Then came the morning meeting. Everyone arrived early, sitting in uneasy silence around the table. I whispered to the deputy GM, what happened? trouble. He leaned in. The chairman's son is parachuting in. They say he's using our branch as a test run before taking over the whole group. Harvard, Goldman Sachs, then started his own fund and made $1 billion overnight. Ruthless. Watch yourself. A young man in a black suit strode in, black wool coat draped over his shoulders. An assistant took it with reverence. The click of his leather shoes stopped. I looked up, and so did everyone else. The first thing that struck you was the aura. Born command, bred control. He had no arrogance, yet every head, mine included, wanted to bow. Hair slicked back, sharp brows, eyes startlingly clear, classic Western bone under Eastern skin. Stunning, on par with Liu Yin, but the presence eclipsed the face. Apologies, flight delay. He sat at the head. I'm Gu Sheng, your new GM. I've reviewed the files and statements. Starting with the deputy GM, each of you will brief me on the past year and current projects. One after another, they reported, trembling. As rumored, he was razor sharp, calling out every evasion. I dislike vagueness and being played. Let's communicate. If words fail, I'll try other methods. No one shouted, yet cold sweat bloomed on every back. When my turn came, my palms were slick, but I was prepared and proud of my results. I spoke fluently. Gu Sheng didn't interrupt. In his eyes I caught approval. Zhongyan, right? Good. From now on, all reports at this standard. Work intensified under him. Redundant tasks and bad assets were cut. Solid projects poured in. Overtime grew, but so did salaries. Young female colleagues buzzed about him, until two rookies tried rom-com moves. One openly challenged him in a meeting. The other accidentally spilled coffee on his 30,000 yuan shirt and tried to wipe it. Both were fired within 24 hours. Gossip shifted. Never dated, still a virgin? Impossible. Look at him. I'd blow a year's bonus for one night with that body. Listening, I felt a spark. With Liu Yan gone, Gu Sheng looked like an upgrade. I wanted to try. I began appearing on his radar, deliberately. He arrives 30 minutes early. 3 days a week I ride the same empty elevator, greet him, press the button, then stand in silence. Every noon I fetch coffee at the time he does, but I leave before he enters, letting him glimpse me. Occasionally I work late. He passes my desk on his way out. Always visible, never intrusive. On my 17th late night he paused. I keep seeing you over time. Problems? I looked up startled, then handed him a file. New project. Some assets look risky. Just digging deeper. Gu Sheng sat beside me, subtle woody cologne mingling with my faint rose. This set is viable. Look at their 2023 statements. Solid finances, he spoke calmly. I nodded, asked sharp questions, feigned epiphanies. You're already competent, just short on experience. Don't pressure yourself. Go home early. Don't make me the villain who forces overtime. We walked out together. Outside, wind-driven rain lashed me. I hesitated. Gu Sheng, halfway to his car, turned back. What's wrong? I waved. Nothing. Mr. Gu, you go. I just remembered something. 5 minutes later his car rolled up, window down. Didn't drive. Embarrassed, I admitted. No. Hard to get a cab in this rain. He nodded. He spoke first. I'll give you a ride, get in. On the way I talked with Gu Sheng. He was quietly surprised to discover we shared so many interests. Even a little-known film I loved turned out to be his favorite. His manner, cool at first, gradually warmed until we reached my building, where he drove straight past the gate. I pressed my lips together, about to remind him, but he had already noticed. Sorry, I wasn't following the nav. When the car stopped I thanked him again for the lift. Gu Sheng merely nodded, lips parting as if to add something, then closing. What's the matter, Mr. Gu? What perfume are you wearing? It smells nice. The moment the words left him he seemed to regret them. Saying anything more would only deepen the awkwardness, so he lowered his head and kept silent. I hid a smile. Penhaligon's Elenigia. Well then, see you tomorrow, Mr. Gu. I stood behind the curtain and watched his taillights disappear. Then I took a notebook from the table. To create that chance tonight, I hadn't driven to work in weeks. Luckily the forecast was accurate, and the rain arrived right on cue. Inside the notebook were pages of Gu Sheng's preferences, scraped together from the sparse information I could find. I'd even dug up the social media account he used back in college and copied every word. The movie I'd brought up, I'd only watched it the night before. Ordinary girls like me have to put in extra effort to land a man like him. I curved the corner of my mouth, sat on the bed, and my phone rang. Unknown number. I picked up to a familiar voice. Liu Yan, cold and flat. You left a lot of stuff at the apartment. Come get it or I'll throw it all out. When I moved out I'd purposely left a few things behind. Junk I didn't want. I'd figured Liu Yan would toss them without a word. I never expected a call, then throw them away. I don't need any of it. I flipped the Gu Sheng notebook, tone indifferent. On the other end Liu Yan was clearly displeased. After a long silence he hung up. He's all always been mercurial, needing constant appeasement, but I'm no longer obliged to soothe him. I blocked the number and forgot the incident. Yesterday's script had already been used on Gusheng. Today I needed a new act. I left work early for once and went to a bar with a friend. A few rounds in, we were tipsy. My friend squinted at me. You were crazy about Lu Yan. Now you've broken up. Can you really let go? When I dated Lu Yan, my friends had hated how I debased myself, calling me pathetic. I never saw it that way. I wanted his body, so I paid the price. Who says that's shameful? I set down my glass. Someone like him is fine for dating. I'm not stupid. When you're young you play. If I'd married him I'd have been miserable for life. My friend gave me a thumbs up. Respect, top-tier mindset. You got to enjoy Lu Yan in his prime. You're the one in the stratosphere. Suddenly she froze, eyes wide behind me. Am I so drunk I'm hallucinating? A low laugh, cool and familiar. Ice my blood. Oh, so that's the reason you dumped me. I turned rigid. Lu Yan in a silky white shirt lounged against the wall, staring at me with a chill smile. My friend abandoned ship instantly. Lu Yan yanked me into the empty corridor, towering over me. For a second I thought he might actually kill me. What are you doing here? I struck first. Don't tell me you came looking for me. Lu Yan tugged one corner of his mouth. Zhongyan, if there's no mirror at home there's always piss. My band has a gig. Schedule changed. If I hadn't run into you, I'd never have known you've been bragging about using me for free all these years. I looked away. He pinched my chin and forced me back. Zhongyan, have you always treated me like an idiot? Yes, I answered silently. I pried my aching jaw free and kept my voice level. Whatever the case, these years I gave you everything I had. Ask your conscience. How did I treat you? I owe you nothing. If anything, you owe me. Even if I did use you, my youth counts too. We should part on good terms. I paused, unable to say the word love. At least we had something once. Lu Yan studied me for a long time, just when I expected anger. He laughed. Under the lights his features were still beautiful, but my heart no longer raced. After 1,000 dawns and dusks, even the loveliest face becomes wallpaper. Zhongyan, you really overrate yourself. He hooked a lazy smile. Of course we'll part on good terms. Did you think I'd cling to you? Just remember, I dumped you, not the other way around. With that he turned away as if brushing off filth. I watched his back and sighed soundlessly. Lu Yan had never been dumped in his life. Being discarded by me must sting. If this little lie comforts him, so be it. I kept working late as usual. Gusheng left later and later. Occasionally he gave me a ride. Late autumn slid into early winter. Cold, dry air made everyone huddle in coats. The city lights and the chill widened the distance between people, making them instinctively seek warmth. That we talked about company projects, what we'd been doing. I'd complain about difficult partners. Sometimes he'd agree, yeah, that guy's an idiot, and we'd laugh. I could feel his fondness growing. So on the day the first snow fell, I decided to up the ante. I asked for leave. When he inquired why, I hesitated. Family matter. Normally that would end the questions, but Gusheng frowned. Is something wrong at home? Is there anything I can do? I gave an awkward smile. My mom's forcing me to a blind date dinner. He was silent a long time. I can only give you, he glanced at his watch, 2 hours. For a blind date that should be enough. I wasn't lying. I really did have to meet someone. My mother was desperate. This candidate was decent, returned from overseas, worked at a major tech firm, 180 centimeters, refined, respectful. I found him interesting and chatted longer than usual. Midway he went to the restroom. I looked at my phone, then looked up to see Lu Yan sitting opposite me, nearly 1.9 m tall. His long legs barely fit under the small table. He twirled the other man's Volkswagen key between his fingers, sneering. Dumped me to come back and date this crap? My smile vanished. I thought your band had left town. Schedule changed. You think I'd stay in this backwater for fun? I spoke evenly. Please respect my date. He's a good man. Leave now and don't ruin this. Lu Yan's face darkened. Smile gone. The date returned, bewildered. Excuse me, who are you? Lu Yan didn't even glance at him. Voice low and dangerous. I'm her boyfriend. Beat it. I hurried to explain. No, he's not. Lu Yan seized my wrist. Want me to kiss her right here so you'll believe me? My date stormed off. I wrenched free, furious. Lu Yan, what the hell is wrong with you? We're over. He leaned back, the smirk on his lips utterly punchable. That was your one-sided announcement. I never agreed. Dating isn't marriage. It doesn't need mutual consent. Besides, you said you'd never eat old grass. I've changed my mind. He spoke as casually as choosing lunch. I just realized you're pretty good at taking care of me. I'm comfortable with you, so I don't want to break up anymore. I laughed in disbelief. I'm not comfortable. The best years of my life were wasted on you for free. His voice rose, drawing stares. Free? Your youth is youth, mine isn't. I wanted to crawl into a hole. Leaning forward, I tried to muffle his mouth. Shut up. He grabbed my hand, smirk widening. Since we split, you haven't met any better men, have you? Deep down you know I'm the best you'll ever get, and we're perfect in bed. Why settle for those losers?" He stopped mid-sentence because someone pulled me away. I looked up. Gusheng, still in the black suit he'd worn at the office, brows knitted. "You said you were on a blind date. Why is he manhandling you? Is he harassing you?" My plan had been to make Gusheng jealous, but he hadn't shown up until Lu Yan barged in. "I'm her boyfriend. Who the hell asked you to butt in?" Lu Yan bristled. Standing, the two tall men faced each other. "I'm her boss," Gusheng said coolly. "According to my knowledge, Zhou Yan is single. Does she need your permission to have a boyfriend?" Lu Yan looked at me, half smiling. "So this is your shiny new target since dumping me. Zhou Yan, does he know what a schemer you are? Planning to run the same game on him you ran on me." Even I, normally unflappable, was seething. Before I could retort, Gusheng spoke. "So you're the ex she dumped. If she doesn't want you, stalking won't help." Lu Yan's face went black. Gusheng turned to me. "Your leave is over. There's a meeting waiting. Let's go." I couldn't worry about Lu Yan anymore. I frowned at him. "I don't know what's gotten into you. Lu Yan, we were together willingly. I never forced you. I owe you nothing. My stance is the same. Let's part on good terms. Please don't bother me again." Lu Yan opened his mouth, eyes storm dark, but said nothing in the end. Gusheng grabbed my wrist and pulled me outside. "Was that really your ex?" he asked once we were in the car, both arms draped over the steering wheel. His voice was low and heavy. "Weren't you supposed to be back at the office for a meeting?" he pressed. "Was that man your ex?" "Yes," I said, rubbing my face and forcing a bitter smile. "We were together for 3 years. I loved him a lot back then, but he cheated on me over and over. I couldn't take it anymore. The whole reason I came home to the countryside this time was to get away from him. The breakup hurt so badly. These last few days with you." I glanced at Gusheng's expression and continued, dejected. "I'd started to feel better. I never thought he'd come back and pester me." Gusheng looked at me. "He doesn't deserve you. Don't go soft. Cheating happens only once, or 100 times. His disloyalty shows he can't overcome animal instinct. He hasn't evolved. He has zero self-control and doesn't love you enough. You deserve a responsible man." I couldn't stop my lips from curling up, though I quickly forced them back down. With a trace of sadness I said, "But good men like you are so rare. Where am I supposed to find one?" Gusheng's ear tips reddened. He cleared his throat. "Well, only I'm good enough for you." 3 days later, I was drinking at a bar when Gusheng texted, asking when I'd be back at work. The day he'd practically confessed, I'd been stunned by his bluntness, but I hadn't replied. My feelings for Gusheng were real. After everything I'd learned, he exceeded every item on my checklist. Still, we couldn't stumble into a relationship the way I had with Lu Yan. Muddled beginnings always end in muddled finishes. So I'd taken my accrued leave and come out with friends to clear my head. This bar was the city's only high-end spot, not too rowdy, with a great band. I sipped my drink while watching the beautiful people on the dance floor. Then the music stopped. After a moment the guitar started again and a husky, magnetic voice rose. I froze mid-sip, eyes widening. Lu Yan, black shirt, silver chain glinting at his throat, sat on a tall stool strumming his guitar. In an instant the shouting crowd and swirling lights vanished. All I saw was the faint gleam in his eyes as he met my gaze. The girls below went wild, planning to ask for his number. It felt exactly like the night we'd first met, except this time I wasn't the one walking toward him. Guitar in hand, Lu Yan stepped off the stage and came straight to me, smiling. "Let's exchange contacts." The whole place erupted. I thought my heart had turned to still water, yet it rippled. I looked at him, conflicted. Why bother? I wasn't being self-deprecating. I knew Lu Yan liked me, but how much of that liking was for who I actually am, and how much was for the way I used to take care of him? Never quarreling no matter how he cheated? Maybe everything he was doing now stemmed from nothing more than bruised ego. He, the one in control, had been dumped by the doormat he thought he owned. The crowd drifted away. Lu Yan signaled the band and the music resumed. He slid into the booth beside me, leaned back with a sigh. "I've thought about what you said the other day. All these years you never wronged me. You gave so much, and I kept hurting you. Of course I understand why you left." His expression stiffened, as though the next words were almost impossible to force out. If I really change, treat you well, stop crossing lines with other women, could you? Remembering my vow never to rekindle an old flame, he flushed and plunged ahead. "Could you take me back? I'm sorry. It was all my fault." I stared in shock. I'd thought he'd been possessed. Lu Yan, always aloof, looking down at me, was actually apologizing and begging me back. "Who's coaching you?" I asked. This wasn't his style. Someone was definitely behind it. He pressed his lips. "After we broke up, My buddies told me I'd gone too far. They said if I wanted my wife back, I couldn't cling to pride. His mortification seemed maxed out. So, will you come back to me? I'm better than any blind date option you'll find. After me, they'll all look dull. And that boss of yours, he's a boring elite who'll only ever talk work. We've already lasted 3 years. We're the perfect match. I answered a different question. How did you get the owner to let you stage this? Lu Yen smirked. I bought the place. I'm the new owner. Do you like it? I'll give it to you. No thanks. I drained my glass, picked up my bag, and stood. Appreciate the offer. The song was beautiful, but getting back together? Pass. The air congealed. Lu Yen pressed his lips into a thin line, staring at me coldly. Why? He had beautiful peach blossom eyes that always sparkled. Even when he was unhappy, rarely did they look so icy. Because, I said smiling, I never eat old grass. To shake Lu Yen off, I volunteered for a week-long business trip. The project was already basically wrapped up. That evening at a dinner, a senior executive from the partner company kept staring at me in a way that made my skin crawl. Little Zhou, how old are you? The bald, beer-bellied man asked again and again, cackling and inching closer, offering to read my palm. I deflected. I'd met plenty like him, men who think young women will swallow harassment for the sake of a contract. Annoyed, I endured it. The deal was too big. My phone rang. Gu Sheng, still eating. He could hear the raucous male voices. I texted your boss. If you're done, leave. I didn't want to stay, but the man's drunkenness escalated. After several bottles, he turned nasty, grabbing my arm. A girl with ambition, good. But sometimes grinding alone won't cut it. There are shortcuts, you know? My company has a few more projects. Let's chat in my room later. He pushed a room key at me. The stench of alcohol made me hold my breath. I pushed the card back. Director Zhang, I'm only on the project team. Talk to my boss. He exploded, yanking me up. Who the hell do you think you are, bitch? A female manager? You slept your way up. Acting all high and mighty? Think my rank's too low for you. The drunk was terrifyingly strong. Several male colleagues just managed to pull him off. My heart pounded. My wrist throbbed. I stood frozen until the deputy director waved me out. I fled, glancing at my phone. I saw the call was still connected. I lifted it to my ear. Gu Xing didn't comfort me. He said only, wait for me. The trip wasn't far, 3 hours by car, but Gu Sheng's schedule was brutal. The new branch couldn't spare him. I'd expected a video call, or maybe someone sent to relieve me. Back at the hotel, I lay in the dark, eyes open to the ceiling. It's nothing new. My family couldn't help. In college, I took out loans and worked dawn to dusk jobs. When bosses harassed me then, I endured. Now at least I can push back. Minutes crawled. No more messages from Gu Sheng. I rolled over with a bitter smile. Even now I harbored stupid hopes. Maybe I really inherited the weakness I despised in my mother. I rarely saw my father. All human flaws seemed concentrated in him. Gambling, absence, endless women. When he did appear, it was to demand money. If my mother refused, he beat us. From childhood, I begged her to divorce him. Everyone did. She sobbed that she had to give me a complete family. Later, I realized that was just her excuse. She couldn't leave. Every time she caught him cheating, she'd threaten suicide. Yet when he walked out, she'd collapse, clutching his knees, begging him to stay. In that endless tug-of-war, I grew up knowing men are unreliable. You must seize what you need yourself. I won't reunite with Lu Yen, because I know he'll never change. No matter what he promises, he won't stop cheating. And I refuse to repeat my mother's tragedy. As for Gu Sheng, do I truly like him? I'm not sure. Maybe I just like that he's decent, successful, obviously better than Lu Yen. I approached him, charmed him, yet this affection feels fake. I rarely feel lost, but now I wonder, is this really what I want? The doorbell rang. Wrapped in a quilt, I shuffled to open it. Gu Sheng stood there in another flawlessly tailored suit, showing no trace of a 3-hour night drive. I've already told that company the partnership is off, he said. The man who insulted you has been fired. I guarantee he won't find another job in this industry. You'll never see him again. His tone was calm, no embrace, no sweet words, yet his mere presence radiated reliability. He glanced at his watch. 3 hours till dawn. Tomorrow's schedule is canceled. Sleep as long as you like. He paused. I'm next door. If you need anything, come find me. He turned to leave, as if he'd driven all night only to deliver those few sentences. Yet my heart settled, strangely at peace. As he stepped away, I caught his sleeve, pulled him down, and standing on tiptoe, tasted cool mint in a brief kiss. Under his startled gaze, I smiled. Gu Sheng, let's be together. Being with Gu Sheng feels nothing like being with Lu Yen. He's a straight-laced man who rarely speaks sweet words, yet every action drips with care. When work problems crop up, his first instinct is never to comfort me, but to hand me a solution. Any issue I mention to him has usually vanished by the next day. He seldom says, "I miss you." Yet even when I land on the latest red-eye flight, he's there at the airport. For the first time I know what steady, rock-solid happiness is. But the happier I feel, the more frightened I become, like walking on a cliff. Beneath me should be firm stone, yet when I turn around it's a sheer drop. I'm terrified Gu Sheng will see the real me, that every facet I've shown him is carefully painted on. I'm scared he won't like the person underneath. After several snowfalls, the temperature plummeted, coupled with overwork and too many worries. I finally fell ill. I asked my boss for leave and stayed home alone. Gu Sheng and I don't live together. I'm afraid that too much closeness will let him glimpse the sides of me no one is meant to see. Feverish and half delirious, I thought I heard the doorbell. I assumed it was a dream until it rang again and again. I forced my eyes open and tottered to the door. Outside stood Gu Sheng, left hand holding a thermal lunchbox, right hand a plastic bag of medicine. Snow must have been falling, black wool coat still dotted with unmelted flakes. Every blink of his long lashes left them damp. "I heard you were sick." He set the lunchbox on the dining table. "You can't take medicine on an empty stomach. Have some porridge first." I didn't know which kind you like, so I bought one of each. Before I could react, he pressed a hand to my forehead, then touched his own against mine and frowned slightly. Moving to the sofa, he began unpacking every box. "What are your symptoms? Wind cold or viral?" "Caught a chill, probably wind cold." He unfolded one box and studied the leaflet carefully. I stared in a daze. The first time I saw him he'd been just like this, frowning at a report in a conference room. I'd sat farthest away. Between us stretched an ocean of people, and he had seemed lofty, distant, icy. Yet now the man who only looked at projects worth 8 figures or more was furrowing his brow over a tiny drug insert, alive, right in front of me. The living room lamp cast orange light across him. His coat lay on the sofa, sleeves rolled to the forearms, softening the sharp lines of his face into something gentle. My heart gave a violent thump, the echo caroming around my skull. I thought, I'm done for. I walked over and nestled against him. He slipped an arm around me and tucked a throw over my lap. "What's wrong?" Feeling worse, I buried my face in his chest and mumbled, "What am I going to do? Gu Sheng, I think I'm liking you more and more." He raised an eyebrow. "So you didn't like me before?" "It's not that." I couldn't explain. I've always feared relationships, dreaded losing control, terrified I'd become my mother. But right now, it doesn't seem so bad. I took the medicine and slept dreamlessly. When I woke drenched in sweat, my stuffed head felt oddly light. I bounced out of bed to find Gu Sheng and tell him I was better. Gu Sheng. The next second I stood in the doorway of the study, meeting his expressionless eyes. In his hand was the notebook where I'd logged every detail about him, already half finished. Gu Sheng left. No anger, no quarrel, no words, no second glance. I stood frozen in the hallway, wanting to call after him but voiceless. My cold felt a little worse, yet I hardly noticed. My chest just felt hollow, as if all the winter wind had poured straight into my heart. 2 days later, recovered, I went back to work. I worked late as usual, fetched coffee from the pantry, yet I never ran into him. When he chooses to avoid me, I truly can't see him. My phone, once buzzing all day, went silent. He seemed to have erased me completely. Sometimes I managed a bitter joke. At least he hadn't fired me. The man kept business and private life strictly separate. Other times I ground my teeth. Better an unfair grudge than this utter erasure. I didn't seek him out. Caught red-handed. What was left to say? Any explanation would sound hollow. For a man like Gu Sheng, girls who've set their sights on him probably form a queue. I'd merely seized the right time, place, and chance, no different from the rest. I slipped back into my old rhythm, alone to work, alone home. I'd never minded before, but after growing used to us, single life suddenly felt lonely. Lu Yan, somehow hearing of my breakup, began to waylay me at every turn. When he blocked my door again, I finally sighed. "What do you want?" "I've told you, I'm not getting back with you." Leaning against the frame, the silver stud in his ear glinting, he lifted a brow. "Well, you're single now. Being single is being single. Try me again. Where am I worse than that Gu guy? Look at my face, money? I've got as much as he gives you. Why stick with him?" I was too tired to argue. "I just like him. None of your business." Lu Yan laughed. "I sometimes hate how this world lets even ugly laughs look good on pretty faces." "You like him," he sneered, voice icy. "Does he like you?" "He likes the mask you wore." "Not me. I like you exactly like this. You and he aren't the same kind. What's the point of a fake relationship?" The last sentence hit home. Yes, between Gu Sheng and me, everything began with pretense, but my feelings for him are real. Still, Lu Yan was right. What use is that? Gusheng won't like me anymore. To a man like him, being fooled by someone like me must be an indelible stain. Zhongyan, Luyan coaxed, voice siren sweet. We're the perfect match. I opened my mouth, just as my phone rang. A message from Gusheng. Free? I'll pick you up in a bit. Let's talk. I looked up at Luyan. No what? He blinked. I said no. I'm not getting back with you. I met his eyes. Wort by wort. I don't like you. I won't settle anymore. A few days later, Gusheng looked unchanged, neither heartbroken nor furious. Charcoal coat taken by the waiter, he sat in a black turtleneck, eyes downcast, fingers laced. I had no idea what to say. Silence stretched until he finally spoke. Did you use the same tricks on others? I'd expected him to ask why I'd lied, yet this was his first question. I was caught off guard. No, I hadn't. Never with Lu Yen. Never with anyone. Never gone so far as to study habits and preferences so painstakingly. His face didn't change, but the line of his brows relaxed a fraction. I wanted to say I hadn't meant to deceive him, but the words stuck. I could only lower my voice. I'm sorry, Elite. Whatever anger you feel is fair. If you never want to see me again, I can. I clenched my fingers. I can resign. Gusheng paused. I'm not here for that. These past days I've thought it through. I do like you. Even after knowing you tricked me, I still like you. Gusheng has never been good with feelings, yet when he speaks, he's bluntly honest. His love is like him. Disdains concealment, hides nothing. But a relationship built on pretense won't last. What I like is the way you never bow to any setback, the clear plan you have for your life, how you know exactly what you want and never get sidetracked. I like the real you aligned with me, not the you who claims to love skiing in Hokkaido or adores Leroy Musicny. Shared values matter more than shared hobbies. We should be lovers, lifelong friends, comrades walking the same road, not two people drifting further apart. He lifted his pale amber eyes and looked straight at me. I like you very much. I hope from now on we drop all pretense. I want to be with you always. I froze. 1,000 words rose and died. My mind went blank. I'd never been chosen, truly chosen before. My upbringing taught me to treat love as a transaction, to use skill and scheme. I'd thought that was fine. Most couples merely muddle along. Real love exists only in novels and films, like ghosts everyone talks about but no one sees. Finding a tolerable man was enough. Why care about love? Now someone had torn off my mask and told me he loved the person beneath, that I needn't pretend anymore, that he wanted us forever. This was nothing like Lu Yan. Using my old tactics on Gusheng would be an insult. All the turbulence in my heart dissolved into a vast white space. I should have said 100 clever things to make him happy, yet I only nodded dumbly. Okay, I promise. Gusheng smiled, rare for him, like deep ice cracking to reveal a pool of spring water. Then I forgive you. From then on, I treated Gusheng honestly, no longer researching his preferences, but learning to fit with him naturally. I stopped forcing myself to watch the films he liked. After dinner we curled up on the sofa for the horror movies I love. He looks calm, but that night he woke from a nightmare and clung to me for ages, whispering just before I drifted off, "Wife, let's not watch horror films anymore." Okay, I quit red wine and dragged him to roadside stalls for baijiu. He can't hold liquor, face flushed crimson, coughing non-stop. While I teased him, annoyed, he still kept his solemn face. Later I discovered he'd secretly stocked the house with baijiu to practice. Lu Yan left, stopped pestering me. Word has it he suddenly went home to take over the family business, and is now locked in a bitter fight with assorted half-siblings. Early March, Gusheng proposed, said he couldn't wait any longer. News of the engagement somehow reached Lu Yan, who insisted on meeting me. After checking with Gusheng, I chose a halfway point on the mountainside above the sea. Waves flung themselves against the rocks, gulls wheeling overhead. Lu Yan lounged against the railing in a black hoodie, handed me a can of beer, and took a swig himself. He glanced at the 8-carat diamond on my finger, voice sour. Engaged already? You've only been together 5 minutes. I smiled, cradling the beer. With the right person, you don't need to wait long. He snorted, then fell silent, gazing at the sea. Finally he spoke. Zhongyan, what about me? You had your fun with me, got bored, tossed me aside. Now you're all set. What am I supposed to do? There are plenty of girls who like you. Don't worry about finding someone. I clapped his arm lightly. When he didn't laugh, I lowered my voice. Lu Yan, you don't really like me. If you did, you wouldn't have kept cheating while we were together. You just hate being dumped first. Lu Yan said nothing, drained the beer. I handed the can back. I wish you happiness, truly this time. I turned to leave. Far behind me, Lu Yan suddenly shouted, voice trembling, but Zhongyan, I really do like you. I didn't stop. Stop. Without turning, I waved and kept walking. My phone buzzed, a message from Gusheng. My drinking tolerance is finally up to par. Tonight we settle it at the barbecue stand downstairs. I couldn't help laughing. Deal. First one to pass out is the dog. In the distance, sky and sea stretch wide. Sunlight pierces the clouds. Spring has truly arrived.